Hey again, it's Runar. First off, I just wanted to thank you for those of you that have already come and visited me, and to my first subscribers. Thank you so much! I just saw this before bedtime yesterday. Frontier just announced that they are working on a new Planet game franchise. And since this isn't going to be a news channel of some sort or even about speculation, I just wanted to take the opportunity to make an unnecessary wishlist for Planet games I would like to see. And since this is Runar's unlikely channel, so shall the wishlist be too. A bit unlikely. First, I tried to think of what makes a Planet game. It's a creative management simulation game, so that aside, and since we only have 2 Planet games so far, I think the key components that there are a closed area, visitors, check-in and check-outs, and of course creative building. There are a lot of other things that Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo has in common, but if I think of what future franchises might have, and not to be too restricted in how these 2 games work, that is the core features I think in any form would be present in defining Planet games. 10. Planet Workplace Office Store. Do you think I could come up with anything more fun than an office game? Hopefully as we go along with this list. This is an unlikely type for a Planet game, but the idea here is to manage some sort of franchise. I think this is a pretty common theme for indie games though, but it would be interesting to see a Planet renovation of the genre. To see if this would be fun, I try to imagine different scenarios. How would it be if there are different settings, like totally different from your boring city office to suburban stores and to industrial sites such as mine, quarries and ports? Although it would be hard to incorporate the building aspects of the Planet games here, or it would require a ton of interactable items that has meaning to the management. 9. Planet Safari. This will be a short one, because I think we're getting this in some form in Planet Zoo 2, with the implementations of wildlife reserves. And that is actually how I would like this idea implemented anyways. I mean, I would prefer it to be integrated into Planet Zoo rather than it being a whole other Planet game. But does anyone remember Sim Safari? It seems like a totally forgotten game. I remember that I bought it at a boat and fishing shop. Here the idea would simply be to terraform and manage the safety and welfare for the animals. I think the most interesting thing here would be different biomes and all the types of different ways and the environment would impact. I also think a core focus could be on the environment itself. I mean, more focus on vegetation. I love to read the about page about animals and stuff, so why not also about your hibiscus as well? 8. Planet Transport. Same as with the workplace game. This is a genre that exists pretty broadly if I understand it correctly, but it would be fun to see a Planet take on this as well. I think I have already broken the key components with both this game and the previous Safari one, or, I know. For a proper Planet take on this, I would like to see all kind of transport management and not just focused on a specific type. I want to manage the airport, the train tracks, making people waiting for the bus come late for work again. I want to manage the industrial port, the cruising ship port, but at the same time, the small dock at some random camping area. And that is where a game like this would shine for me. To be able to get fulfillment in not just creating the largest and most efficient or the one that brings in all the money, but also manage a little private airport or a taxi franchise with only 3 cars. I see a problem here with it being a closed area, so that's why we go to number 7. Planet Showbiz. The word showbiz directly transport me to the early 2000s and also to the Sims Superstars. That was such a great expansion. There existed also a movie management game back in the days, but I don't think I ever tried it out. I think it was called The Movies. A showbiz game would work better in the Planet franchise, I think. It pretty much meets the requirements I wrote down if you tend to view it as that you manage a showbiz business park in its own. There would be a lot of fun with some micromanagement of what is actually produced though as well. I mean, building up settings for a theater or movie and so on. Here I would like a broader take on showbiz than what the movies did. I would like there to be areas for film, of course, but also theaters, catwalks for modeling, photo studios, outdoor photography areas, music studios, workshop studios, circus, but also show areas, cinemas and so on, where the guest can come and visit. Okay, yeah, I want it all.
6.
Planet Adventure. This is like your adventure part of Planet Coaster, and I wish so much that something like this would be implemented into the Planet Coaster games. Zip lines, mountain climbing, paintball, obstacle courses, mountain bikes, skiing, hot air balloons, snowmobiles, hiking trails, and even orienteering. Is it even called that? Orienteering? Anyhow, I can sit here forever and list things. Imagine this being in Planet Coaster. Then you could make a hybrid park with coasters and flat rides, all the splashy from the water parks theme, but also this type of adventure stuff. But as I said with Planet Transport, even though huge hybrid parks are awesome, sometimes you just want a little resort in the mountains with a small campsite and some ziplines and a campfire. It would take the Coaster franchise and develop into several different games on its own, in a way. So if we wouldn't get this in Planet Coaster, I definitely want this as its own type of Planet game.
5.
Planet LARP. I have visited a LARP once. It was a pirate one, and I sat in a cabin for 3 days with social anxiousness and wouldn't dare to stick out my nose. Anyhow, I really like immersion, and that is what this is all about, creating areas of all the themes out there. I want to see post-apo, pirates, fairy tale, renaissance, the Stone Age, space, and from what I have seen of people building in Planet Coaster 2, with scaling and stuff, the Planet games are perfect for this. Even though I have just started, I want to recommend the Channel 5 Gaming on YouTube and look at all the crazy things people can build.
4.
Planet Festival. This could fit great into either Planet Coaster itself or the Planet Showbiz I mentioned earlier, and that, again, is what I would prefer. But if not, here's the idea of the festival. To make this work, I think the management system of the Planet games must be much more detailed and work in a little bit of a different way than it does now. You would manage artist bookings, PR, schedules, that the right type of food and drinks are being offered, that the camping area and the parking space is not just a big field of mud. There would be backstage areas, VIP areas. Something I have always wanted in the Planet games is a visitor transportation system. Like you would see the cars, the buses and things arriving, and that you have to manage that, making a parking lot and so on. That would probably need another way of going with pathfinding systems, but it's my wish list, so
3.
Planet
3.
Farm. Tractors and pumpkins, cows and horses. It's a cool thing, I know what a farm is. I think this speaks for itself. It would also need a more detailed management system than what we currently have in the Planet games. And isn't that something that we all wish for? It would be fun to manage what type of machines are used, what crops there are, but also you might just want to specialize on winemaking on the countryside far away from anything, or a terrible industrial farm, or a visitor petting farm, or perhaps like a more of a peasantry work and art farming thing. Could be fun. Yet again, it's not all the hybrid things that make me go crazy, but all the different possibilities and themes one could take at every new save file.
2.
Planet City or Region. Here I break my rules of a Planet game again, but I wish there was a creative building city type of game. For me, a city building game is nothing if I can customize all the buildings freely in the game. I must say, that sounds tedious, and if there's something I wish they added in the Planet games, it would be draggable walls and proper see-through windows. And misunderstand me correctly here, I still want all the freedom of free-moving objects, and I would never like them to take that away for a more simple system. But having the option for some more fun way of building, since I'm actually not a big fan of Lego style type of building. Anyhow, for this game I don't want every city or region's end goal to be a huge modern skyscraper city. I want to create historical regions, like it was built under the Roman Empire. Suburban Hollywoodish neighborhoods, countrysides, and yeah, you get a thing. I can ramble until midnight. And that's why we go to 1. Planet Resort. Pretty given, and perhaps the most likely one, that this is the new franchise. For this game to work great, I want to see these draggable walls for sure, and I want proper interior items. And lastly, a more detailed management system fitting better for this type of game. Would there be a way to build actual amusement areas, such as ski slopes, or would it be enough to build the resorts themselves? I think both ways work, even though the more integrated things are the better. So through all the previous games I just said and place them in here? Nah, I think a resort game on its own, and the rest of their own, is just perfect as well. It would be cool to see all the types of areas you can build your resort in, and that you can get fulfillment for the last time, not just from creating the largest resort complex, but also from that tiny glamping area out on a lonely sandbar. Anyhow, what do you think is the next Planet game? And what type of Planet game would you like to see? Thank you for joining me, and if anyone else like to like and subscribe, you're more than welcome. See ya!